Hey everybody, how you doing today? Superfiend here. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. It is our park, Whacky World, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today than the usual fare. I've kind of toyed with this and mentioned it a few times here and there. And today's episode is going to be more of a here's what I've done rather than here's what we're doing. So, and I just thought this would be like a cool place to open the episode up here at our little pirate lookout. We built this so long ago. This is above the Lost Gardens ride. Here's the chain lift. There they go. Whee! Yay! So much fun! Put your hands up. Okay, so anyways, what we've been doing, what we've been working on, and believe it or not, and this is kind of the reason why we're doing this format for this episode, is we have now been working on this back area. I think it looks magnificent, except for I haven't gone in here and cleaned this up yet. We've been working on this for like 10 episodes, and it's taken 2 months, okay? Now, I don't know if you remember what it looked like before we started, but it was practically bare, and I do have a before picture. And at some point when it's done, I'll probably post on Twitter and Reddit before and after. But I mean, it takes forever. So what we're going to do today is, in the meantime, every now and then, in between recording episodes for this, I've popped in and I've kind of worked on this shoreline over here and kind of finished some more of this scenery. We also have a challenge. Achieve a monthly profit from shops and facilities. Whoa, we got $1,000. We'll just put that here in the bank with all the other thousands of dollars that we have, and then we'll close this. So if we zoom over here and we look, let's see, like this all right here is still kind of unfinished and undone. But if we turn the camera this way, like from walking into the pirate area, pretty much everything on the left and everything from here on back, and then kind of that's why I was working this area, because when we finish this corner up back here, it's going to tie everything in real neatly. And then there's just this stuff here. And then, of course, we got all this stuff over here. And then, like, this little bit over there and this little bit over here. And I don't really like my bridge path system over there, so I'll probably change it, but I don't quite know how exactly. So anyways, one of those like missing holes in here is just this right here. And you can also see that this has been terraformed somewhat and kind of looks like this scenery over here with the shoreline. And I'm going to have a little video for that, but that's coming out after this one, most likely. So anyways, one of the things that's been long sitting like kind of real bare and crappy is this queue over here. And I threw this building in over here kind of as just like a makeshift placeholder. And it had some extra stuff around here, which is currently hidden, and it will come back into view soon. So let me show you, if I can do this correctly, what I went and did over here. The first thing I thought is, we really need to like clean this up. I really don't like the way this looks. Of course, it's hideous, right? So, I mean, we need to fill this scenery in. And if we come in here, there is an entertainment point buried under the deck. So what we may be able to do with that entertainment point is we make it part of a work roster, and the entertainer possibly, don't hold me to it, could wander up here, stand around, and maybe just kind of like, I don't know, look like he or she is entertaining the people that are in the queue line here. So anyways, going back to here's the stuff. Okay, so it was all here, and then I selectively moved them out of the way so that I could do undo. Here comes the magic. Bop! Look at that. It looks so pretty. Of course, there's a big hole right here. That scenery will come in just a sec. So I thought we should kind of continue this little theme here of the deck and all this stuff coming down below. And, I decided to line the path with rocks here and just put some planters and then some of the neat little vintage pack scenery pieces in here. Now, these worked out really well. I didn't think they were going to work for this, but I like these railings. And what these are, I'll just show them to you. Is this vintage pack piece right here, which is upside down. Oh, no. Okay, phew, I thought I just screwed up, like, my whole chain of undoing stuff. Whew! I was like, oh, no! But so anyway, so this is from the vintage pack DLC, so we still got that piece. They're just flipped upside down. And then I believe these right here are from the vintage pack DLC, the Baroque pillar middle 1M, and these little tops here. And I went and I hung the lanterns in between them, and I'm pretty happy with the way like just this little bit turned out. It took a little bit of time to get it and quite a bit of experimentation to really be happy with it, but overall I'm quite pleased with the way it meshes in with the rest of this stuff. And if we do the next one, this queue over here, oh, and then the planter stuff like extends down here. And of course, we got the walkway leads up this way for the entertainer to the entertainment point, and the rock lining goes back down around here. And I think it blends in pretty nice over here with the terraforming and stuff that I ultimately filled in there. So let's do another level of undo. Ready for the magic? Here it comes again. Boom, right in your face. There it is. So anyways, this like now is, I covered it with this ramp. That's from the adventure pack. I'm getting my packs confused. And it kind of goes up this way. And the neat thing with this I think personally, the way I designed this, I'm going to pause it because I feel like I'm competing with that boat right up there. What's neat about this is it kind of ends up looking like an accessibility entrance to the ride. So, you know, if you're in a wheelchair or you can't navigate the queue, then you hopefully could navigate the ramps, although this one's a little bit steep. Maybe you have someone that can help you. Of course, it's Whacky World. There's park staff that can help you with these things. But you would come up here, and then you would wait right here at this gate to be let onto the ride promptly if you are unable to navigate the queue. And then so if we come over here and we look at the queue, this thing was a real pain in the neck to build because some of this scenery sits like very flush with the queue path. And that prompted me to make a video a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever when I was working on this on like how to handle building in that situation. So that's, you know, another video that's somewhere on the channel. But then if we come in here and we look at this stuff, so what's this right here? This is the haunted house stone wall. I was looking for a nice stone brick type texture that could go underneath the queue here, and this one just really, for me, works perfect. So if we pull this out here, it's just that piece, and I think I have it like flipped upside down or something like that. You know, it's not put in the way it naturally wants to come out, I don't think. And then I really struggled with this aspect of the queue here, these little overhangs. I wanted there to be some sort of like shade, you know, to keep the sun off you in this queue, because without them, you know, if it were mid-afternoon, you're just gonna melt in here pretty much. So I wanted to get some overhead structures, but the way the queue and stuff is, it's like none of the pre-built canopies or anything really fit. So I just kind of slapped these things together. I'm not entirely happy with the way they look. You know, they're not entirely like what I would have preferred, but I think they get the job done. And they don't look too out of place. They're a little bit low, you know, so if you're real tall, you're probably going to bonk your noodle here. But again, there's a Whacky World staff member that can hop out and give you a bandage and put some sutures in right there on the queue, you know, right there for you. And then I like this part, like these big chains up in here. Now this was a bit that was real tedious. This is, you know, every once in a while you're working on this game and you just get stuff that drives you nuts. So here's one that made me kind of start to go crazy. Can I like not click on this? These little these chain anchor points, they're really called chain attachment points, right? So you're thinking, okay, if I'm going to use the chain without it there, okay, so just what happens if I delete it, right? Okay, so that looks like really unnatural and really stupid. So clearly we want that to be there, right? Yes, clearly that's what we want. But then the problem is the post, and this is just like one of the thickest beams in the game. This attachment point is wider than the post. So then in order to make the attachment thing like actually attach to the post, I needed to use two posts a little bit wider from each other. And it's just like what could have just been like three pieces, the beam, the chain attachment point, and the chain ended up becoming like, you know, two extra pieces, because I have to have these extra beams down here kind of like wedged out to the side because of how wide this thing is. And it doesn't matter how you rotate it, it's pretty much a square. So that was kind of irritating when I was working on it. And it's just another instance of kind of like, you know, as much scenery pieces as there are in Planet Coaster, they don't always seem like they were designed like with the other pieces in mind, if that makes sense. So, you know, I would have preferred if the beams are either a little bit wider or the chain attachment point was maybe a little bit smaller so that it actually fits on a beam, and then maybe the chains weren't so big. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's like thousands of scenery pieces, so we kind of have to cut Frontier a little bit of slack with that stuff. But so anyways, that was a challenge when I was working on it. And then we come over to here. Now, this building used to just kind of be sitting here like this, but you're going to see that I rotated it like this because I just think it fits in better with the platform and the dock behind it here. I think it fits in much nicer this way. It is like this whole area is very busy. It's a very crowded area. And, you know, now that I'm looking at it here, over here, you know, if a guest just kind of like ran off, they would pretty much just escape and like get back into the back workings of the pier system. So we probably want to add a little fence or something like we have over here. Although it doesn't need to be quite as big, you know, it could just go from like here to this, just to keep people out of there. And then we probably also want one just like right over here or something. Hey, I never noticed there's like there's a little ladder here that goes up there. Okay. I guess sometimes the mechanic maybe goes up there. No, really, he doesn't. And then we get over to this little bit over here. And this is where, you know, if we have this building, I thought to myself, well, you know, it would make sense that like goods are brought into this building from the dock system. So let's go ahead and add that in. And then this little corner here, like, let's get out of the building. Like this little bit right here used to be rotated differently and sitting in front of the building. And it used to be a lot smaller too. I increased the size of it when I moved it over here. But I like the way this looks. And that, you know, looks pretty good. And then we get over to all this little scenery over here. And ultimately, it ends up looking like this. Pretty simple design. And I really couldn't fill this in until I got this stuff squared away. And that's because I wanted to see how the building and stuff and the docks were going to like fit in over here. You know, what was it going to look like? So that was preventing me from kind of working on this whole stretch. And then not being able to work on this whole stretch has been preventing me. Whoa, that's totally not what I wanted to do. Let's go back this way. Not being able to work on this whole stretch has stopped me from working on this bit right here because I wasn't sure what this was going to look like. And I've been wanting to finish this. We started this in a live stream, like this exit here that kind of comes out and wraps around. And then there's this bit of underwater scenery here, which I think is pretty cool. You can't really see it. And it's just kind of like one of those things where if you're walking out of the park, you know, like it would distract you. Be like, oh, cool, what is that? So I thought it'd be neat to add that, even though it doesn't have any real value other than, you know, just kind of like a little eyesore from way up here. But anyways, so I haven't been able to finish this until I kind of finish this. So now that all this stuff is done, I'll probably go in again on my own time and just kind of finish off this little area here. We'll do some ropes or fencing around the side, so of course people don't fall in. And I don't know what this is going to end up looking like. But all in all, this whole little area here now looks a lot better. And I do have footage of me putting this together and decorating it. I'm going to put that into like a little time lapse. I'm really not going to have a lot of commentary for it, you know, because it's just going to be using the paintbrush. So if that sounds interesting to you, watch for that in the next day or so. You know, just kind of be like a relaxing video, maybe a little bit of commentary up front. And then you can just watch this kind of take shape with some quirky and odd music. I spent some time yesterday finding it. And then, oh yes. Yeah, see, this is a big placeholder here. We don't need this big, ugly thing there anymore, do we? And that's pretty much all I got for you guys today, guys and gals. Hopefully you like the way this looks. Let me know with any comments or feedback. And if you enjoy this video, you know, you can leave a thumbs up as well. And kind of the reason for this format is, like I said before, doing everything in real time. You know, it's very slow progression. I've been working on this back corner for ages. And if I were to do the same thing, it'd be like another 5 or 10 episodes just to get through this stuff. So I'm able to cover or get through it with just one video here. And then we'll have another one for that tomorrow. And we'll still be doing some stuff in real time, but I'm going to kind of do the same thing that I did here with some of this other stuff. So we can get out of this section of Whacky World sometime this year is my hope. That's my hope. So anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. You have a good afternoon and take care.